Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snack Bar here with MLB 14 the show. This is another Q&A video, which I kind of did in the last one, but I kind of know I gave the announcement that I was going to be doing answers to you guys' questions like towards the middle of the video, which I know I just kind of referenced it, so I didn't get too many questions, which, I mean, I understand. That's kind of on me. So I do want to go ahead and get your guys' questions answered right here. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to start at the bottom, so let's organize this newest first. So, Legit Gamer, you're the man, by the way. Thanks for liking and watching as many videos as you do. What is my dream job? Lottery winner. Hands down. No, dream job, it's actually kind of tough to be able to say that because now, you know, being grown up and everything, like, a dream job isn't necessarily, like, what I do, but, like, it factors other things as well. Like, obviously, with me working the hours that I do, 2 to 11, you know, it's something that, for me, like, a dream job is more like 8 to 5. But honestly, this position that I'm going for right now at the University of Nebraska, I think is going to be, for me, in many respects, a dream job. Because what I would take a look at doing is I would be the guy who's in charge of planning technology for one of the colleges at the university, and training people on how to implement, you know, a new technology, like a new application, program, system, whatever it may be, and really have a big influence on where things go technology-wise. So for me, it means I get to stay on the cutting edge of technology. I still get to work with people, and I get to be able to leave my mark on something that's really cool. So for me, in many respects, that job would be a dream job. But, you know, like, I think the biggest thing for me is I want to leave my mark on something, and I think that's kind of what it'll get me. So, yeah, not so much like astronaut or anything like that. But that was, by the way, my dream job growing up. I really wanted to be an astronaut. John Lyons asked, will your son play the PS4? I'm sure he will. You know, for him, the PS4 will be like what regular Nintendo was for me. Like, my brother beat Super Mario when he was 4 years old. And Hiram is just a couple years away from that. And obviously, the PS4 is still going to be relevant in a couple years. So the answer to that, of course, is yes. James Abbott, are you going to get NHL? I think you should. Yes, I will be getting NHL. I just have a lot of worries about it, though, because, one, time constraints. I mean, I've already gone ahead and canceled football, but, you know, I've got UFC. We've got NASCAR, which I haven't played before. If I get NHL, I don't know. I'm just kind of afraid I'm going to get too much. So, yes, I will be getting NHL. If I post anything for it, though, it's just going to be like a My Player type of thing. I'm not going to do like a franchise or anything like that because, honestly, I haven't played that much NHL, and I'm not that good. So there's the factor I'm not that good. Two, the times I do get goals, it's because I know the glitch about how to go ahead and get the goals, or like just something that will work. But yeah. So, Top Dog, what did your wife do in Minnesota? She visited family, and she's actually in Missouri this weekend to visit family, and then not the weekend, but the weekend after. So over the 4th, she's going to Colorado to visit family. So my work schedule doesn't let me go, but since she's a stay-at-home mom, mad props to her. Go for it. So yeah, she's just visiting family. Ben Walker asked, what kind of music do you like? So it's actually really interesting because I had a conversation with one of my friends about this recently, how we were really, really into, like, you know, metal, and, you know, like some of the harder type of music when we were in high school. But now there's nothing like just somebody with a guitar and singing. Like, I love folk music. So on my Spotify, like when I'm going ahead and you know, kind of editing some videos, I always play Spotify. And yeah, I'm just usually listening to folk music more than anything else. But favorite player in all of sports, Luke Gehrig. Why do I do YouTube? John Lyons asked that, which you asked the PS4 question too. So why do I do YouTube? For a couple reasons. Like, initially I started doing YouTube because I had recently dropped out of college, and I was going in a communications study. And I wanted to keep my communications ability, like, fresh in my mind, public speaking and all that. So it's kind of why I started it, because I was like, you know what, this might actually be kind of fun, you know, playing video games and posting it on YouTube, talking about what's going on. Like, that'd be pretty cool. So I really didn't know it was going to turn into what it did. I didn't think, like, 3 years later I'd still be doing YouTube, nor have almost 23,000 subscribers. Like, all this just blows my mind. But, that's one of the reasons why I do it. Also because since I do work such late hours, everybody's asleep in my house. And so this gives me a chance to, have a hobby and things like that. So, yeah. Jack, the other one, how is living in Nebraska compared to other big city areas? I actually lived in Southern California for a couple years. I lived in Irvine, California. So, I mean, I can answer that one just from personal experience. It's a lot different. Pros and cons to both. So, in Nebraska, like, I live in Lincoln, and I kind of live on the edge of the city. So, for me, you go 3 houses in one direction, and there's the street, that I go to be able to get to the grocery store, doctor's office, like everything that you would need. And Lincoln's a pretty big city, almost 300,000 people. So, I mean, it's not like there's nothing to do in Lincoln, or Lincoln's a tiny town or anything. It's, I live on the edge of the city, but, I go 3 houses in the other direction, and I've got nothing but farmland. So, I mean, a lot of people think of Nebraska as, like, just a whole bunch of hicks here who just, farm all day, and I ain't never seen no traffic lights, and we just got our... No, it's not like that at all. We didn't just get our first elevator or nothing, believe me. But no, I mean, it's, to some respect, or in some respects, Lincoln is, a big city. But for me, what I kind of like is I just live a few miles away from a lake called Pawnee Lake. So, I mean, I can go kayaking, I can go camping. Honestly, I think, in my time that I lived in California versus Nebraska, I did see a big cultural difference as far as how, we kind of treat each other. So in Lincoln, you see somebody at a 4-way stop, or you may have the right of way, but you still may let the other person go, and that person will wave at you and everything. And I remember when I was in California, I was at a 4-way stop, and I let somebody go, and they kind of gave me a weird look, and I waved at them, and they gave me an even more weird look. They're like, why are you waving at me? You don't know me. It was just weird. I mean, we tend to be a little bit friendlier, and I don't mean that in a negative way, because I understand in, bigger city areas, it's a lot more go, 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 let's get this done. Like, you've got other priorities than necessarily being concerned about, being polite to the person at the 4-way stop. And what game would it be without my second baseman and some kind of error? But honestly, I do like Nebraska quite a bit. I used to not like it. If there's one thing about Nebraska that I would say I don't like, it's just the winter. I don't like snow. I hate driving in it. I hate other people driving in the snow. But other than that, Nebraska's pretty cool. Great place to raise a family, stuff like that. So, will I finish 30 wins with 30 teams? The plan is yes. I mean, I have them all edited and stuff. I just really haven't had the time to be able to go through and do them all. Plus, I'm kind of wondering if anybody would even want to see MLB 13, the show, on PS3. So, I don't know. I'll see what I can do this weekend. I've got a few things I need to do, though, so I don't know the answer to that one. Jonah asked, did the tornadoes come near you? I know you're talking about the ones that kind of went through that town, those double tornadoes that killed a couple people. No, it was not near me. It was a few hours away, just in the northeastern part of Nebraska, and I live in the southeastern part. So it was kind of a ways away. I know I kind of post stuff about, like, tornadoes and everything, but they really don't come that close to me at all. Like, Lincoln is in a little bit of a depression, or a little valley almost. So, we kind of have this, like, invincibility feeling, because really we haven't had a direct hit ever that I know of. But, which is part of the reason why I feel okay going out on my deck and taking pictures of the storm and getting on my roof and things like that when the tornado sirens are going off. Which is not a smart thing, I know, but it's just part of our culture. Liam Reed asks, what was your reaction when you found out your wife was pregnant for the first time? So it was a reaction that I regret. But, okay, so here's the thing. So the first time my wife told me that she was pregnant, I was just absolutely shocked, because the whole idea of me being my own person and all that just changed, like, in an instant. And I was freaked out. And so I actually was just like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to be sick. When she told me the first time, like, that's seriously what I said. rather than being, oh my gosh, yay, and being super supportive, because I was seriously just terrified of being a dad. And now, I mean, obviously I'm not terrified. I love it. Being a dad is so much fun, which you guys will obviously find out in time. But the second time that she told me, I had finished taking a certification exam where I got my CCENT, and I was like, yes, I passed. And she was like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, yes, I am. I just wanted to wait until you were done stressing about the test, and then you could start stressing out about this. So that was a little bit different. I was kind of excited. But, yeah, not the best reaction. Do not do that if you're, your wife or girlfriend or whatever, tells you that she's pregnant. Do not, under any circumstances, say, I think I'm going to be sick. It's not being supportive, and I messed up big time on that one. Cool. All right, so Dennis asks, if your son is going to start learning baseball, which he will, believe me, what position do you hope he's going to play at? Also, what age are you going to teach him to throw some balls? So to some degree, he already knows how to throw a baseball right now. He's 17 months old, and I'll give him a ball, and he knows to throw it at me, and I'll hand it back to him, because at 17 months you can't catch anything, so I'll just hand it back, and then he'll throw it, and I'll hand it back. So we kind of play catch already right now. But honestly, what position that I hope he plays is whatever he's going to find to be the most fun, because I don't have these expectations that my son is going to be a Major League Baseball player or anything like that. I just want him to enjoy the sport as much as I have. So whatever he wants to play, I'm going to go ahead and support that, which kind of ties into the next question. Carson BB2 asked, if you could play for any MLB team, what would it be and what position? So for me, I grew up playing catcher, so that's the position that I would play. Like, I loved being in on every single pitch, and I just loved playing the position of catcher. It was just so much fun. Obviously, I would want to play for the Oakland A's because that is my team. So yeah, it's kind of tough because I'm like, if I would have gone ahead and actually put more time into training and stuff, I think I would have been all right at baseball. I wouldn't have been terrible or anything like that. But yeah. So cool. All right. So last question here comes from Jonathan. What do you think about the Redskins name? For me personally, as far as the Redskins name goes, I would like to see it changed. I see both sides of the coin, I do understand, yes, this has been the team's name for 80 years, things like that, but honestly, what the name, I think that's actually kind of a bad thing to argue, because what the Redskin name meant 80 years ago does not mean what it does now. Because Redskins was more of a racial slur that was more socially acceptable back then and not so much now. I would like to see the Redskins name changed. If they were going to go with a different name, I would kind of like them to see, stick with something that's, patriotic. It is Washington. So, if it was the Washington Americans or something, whatever, I don't know. I think it should change. I think they've got a lot of good options, but yeah. So anyway, that's all the questions. I actually hit them in pretty good time this time around. So as far as this game goes, I'm just hoping I end up getting the win here. So it's already pretty close. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to do another Q&A video sometime soon because you guys know I love doing this. And I think you guys actually like being able to ask me questions too about non-sports related things. So that way you guys can get to know me a little bit better and maybe I can give you guys some advice. So anyway, I did not get the win. I forgot because I don't know if you guys caught this. My reliever, right after I got pulled, not only walked the next person to go ahead and load the bases, but then hit the guy after him to go ahead and bring a run home. So not cool, but at least the team got the win. I get no decision on it. But anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I sure do appreciate it. More of this to come later on. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. But you guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thanks again, you guys. And as always, I hope you have a good one.